Hey everyone, it's Wolfram here, and I thought I'd do. Well, I've not done a video for some time, and and that's in part because I've had loads of stuff going on in terms of work. This is a really busy time for me in terms of my work. So obviously I play echoes uh, when I've got a bit of time, and then I want to make these videos, which in themselves take a bit of time. So I'm a bit sorry I've not been able to put much content, but also in part there's not been much to put up. I've got some videos of bigger fleet engagements with the Corp and things, and I've got some other bits and pieces I'm thinking about doing, but I wasn't really that inspired because I just didn't really know what to do. And what really came to mind was that actually it's a sandbox game. I'm going to set my own goals and I'm going to decide what I want to do next. So I currently got 2 faction cruisers. I grinded out Phantasm and a Cinnabul. I've done videos on the Phantasm. I haven't done videos on the Cinnabul at some point. If people are interested, by all means, I will at some point do it, because it is at the moment one of my favourite ships for PvE. I don't really use it in PvP because I just haven't got the will to lose it in PvP. Because it's not exactly a cheap ship. And it wasn't cheap when I bought it, and with prices going up, it really isn't cheap anymore. But what I thought I'd do is actually I watched Captain Benzi's video on the Rattlesnake. I'll put the link in down below so you can see it. And I've decided, you know what? I actually think I want a Rattlesnake, and they are not cheap ships. And so what I thought I'd do is set my goal and show you how I'm going to grind to it. So first of all, let's see how much a Rattlesnake is at the moment on the market. So I'm recording this bit of the video on the 20th of December. Sorry, I got it on regional orders because I was looking for something else. Yep, okay. Right, that's now on properly. And battleships. There's a Rattlesnake. No sales in the market. Right, so that means the price really has gone up. Let's see if I can go. I'm going to try to find it on Discord. For really expensive items, people who don't use Eve Echo's Discord, I highly recommend it, because that's where you are going to find all the stuff that's people are selling that's really expensive. Actually, in game with a new contract search function, let's see if I can find a Rattlesnake contract that's not a not a scam. It's interesting having a look through these sometimes just to see like 99% of these are scams. So there's someone selling a Rattlesnake for 11.3 billion, and they are actually selling a Rattlesnake for 11.3 billion. So at the moment, 11.3 billion. I say a couple of days ago it was 10.5 to get the blueprint. But you can see that you'll find there'll be loads. Look, see. So the total price is 10 million ISK apparently, and what they're doing is selling you some torpedoes, and you'll be giving them a Rattlesnake. So I'm not entirely sure how they think anyone's going to fall for that. But anyway, there are loads of these. Yeah, let's see. Total price. They'll buy a Rattlesnake from you for 9 million. Anyway, I've got myself distracted. It's going to be a lot of money. How much is that? That's 7 billion for a. That's even more, isn't it? Yeah, so you might be able to pick up. You're going to need a lot of cash. So if you're buying Rattlesnake BP, it's going to cost you a fortune. But the BPs, and this is in part. I'm not saying that I'm not against this, but the prices have gone up massively. But I think when I first looked at when the faction battleships were announced, I reckon you could probably build one for about 5 or 6 bill. But they've just gone straight up in price. So I am doing this live. I won't edit it down just so you can see. But the plan, I am going to get a battleship, but I'm going to need some serious cash because in order to get it, it's going to cost an absolute fortune. Rattlesnake blueprints. So they're on the market for about 7.5 billion. So it depends. If I decide to go that route, I could probably spend the rest. So it's going to cost me maybe another 3 billion to build. I'll just go look at it and we'll figure it out. But at the moment, I'm nowhere near 7.5 billion. And the point really is that's the goal I've set. And the way I'm going to do it is I got a lot of questions when I was doing the Phantasm videos on how I can afford a Phantasm, which at the time was about 1.5 billion. I think they've gone up a fair bit in price. And the reality is it's doable, but you've got to grind at it. And I have more than one clone, and I've got 2 alts. And I'm going to talk you through in the videos I'm going to do as to the process of how I make my ISK, and cover that. I might do more detailed videos on it generally, but effectively it breaks down into there's ratting, there's mining, and there is industry. And I do all of them in order to make my ISK. So the character we're currently looking at is my mining clone. It's an alt that has 2 clones, and this one is exclusively mining, has a bit of destroyer skills for an introductor if I'm going to do fleet engagements to help out, and all my skills are pretty much based in industrial. That's what I've done. Just a bit of destroyer, but I've got my industrial skills, ship skills right up, and I'm currently working on my strip mining skills. Oh, wrong one. Work through there. I will take the advanced mining options, and I mine and I sell the ore. I don't reprocess it, and that's an AFK-ish sort of way I do it, because I did work a lot on the computer. I can have a screen open mining in a belt. You do have to keep an eye on it. I recently lost my retriever, which is the first time I lost my retriever since T7 came into place. This alt wasn't using it. I use it on a different alt, but this one's now at strip mining, so I've kitted out a new retriever, and so he will sit and make a bit of money, and I'll go backwards and forwards mining in order to get some ISK that way. So that's one way. You could reprocess those minerals if you had the skills in it. You could use those minerals to do industry, which will get you more. I don't because I'm spread out between different locations. Because I've got 2 of my main alts, 2 of my main clones sitting in HiSec, because the main source of the way I'm going to make the Rattlesnake money is going to be running HiSec storyline missions. So this is my other alt, which sits in Jita. It's as you see, it's my Phantasm alt. I run high-sec storyline missions. That's all he's ever done. Never left high-sec, low-sec in order to do storyline missions, because they are very profitable at the moment. Certainly some people doing solo things, that's absolutely fine. Phantasm's great for them, but it's an issue of time. I do think Dead Space anomalies in nullsec are more profitable, but the problem is you've got to spawn them, which means you've got to rat for potentially hours without success. You need a team available to do them and get these things done. So for consistency, I'm going to run high-sec story missions, because I haven't got a huge amount of time to play the game and sit in nullsec ratting with my various alts clones in order to get the Dead Space. Angel the Devil, Bad Hair Day are the 2 that I've done already. So what we've got sitting here is the money from Angel the Devil, which I've completed recently in the last couple of days, and I'll show you my other alt, which has got more than my main, which is my main alt. But that's certainly my plan. So he's going to be running those things, and I'm just going to switch over to my other screen so you can see. So this is my other alt, which I've now got set up, and this is who I started with. So that's the primary one's Wolfram, and then I've imaginatively named other ones Wolfram 2, Wolfram 3. I might change their names at some point, but at the moment it works for me, it's fine. Wolfram's my main one. It sits with the Cinnabal. I've taken him over to Jita, so he's running storyline missions jointly with the other alt you saw with the Phantasm, because I'm doing the T10 storyline missions with the Phantasm and Cinnamon at the same time. The reason is I need to do it quickly, save my time, and also to get the money. So in terms of ISK, he's now at 600 million. ISK, having done Bad Hair Day, so that's the money. That's the ISK from Bad Hair Day, plus having done Soldier's Way and a couple of others. Because he's my only T8 clone, I run the encounter storyline encounters. If I just click on and show you, he's in fact got a full hold. So that's from Angel or Devil. So that's the loot I got from Angel or Devil. Then you see I'm also sitting on what they say is about 500 million in loot. A lot of that's minerals I've got because that's part of what he does is industry. So I've got some blueprints I've picked up variously that I'll make, and I've got some blueprints that I'm investing in, some Mark 9s. But I'll build a couple of ships as and when I've got enough minerals to do that, to add to it, because the way I'll get minerals is I'll have a reprocessing alt. I'll show you who reprocesses things, but firstly encounters. There's these T8 I can run. In fact, I forgot to do those ones, but it doesn't matter. I'll run these T8 encounters, so I get 1.5 million for basic ones. I don't think I've got. See, so I haven't got this one here. I'll run for 1.5 million. I'll accept them as I go along. I'm not running MR missions. They're just not worth it. They're more difficult than the other ones. I'm not going to run the storylines. I'm sticking with Minmatar, Kaldari, and Galente. That is my focus. So you see, I've done quite a lot already, and this is how I'll pick up the missions if I can. Alternatively, I'll just simply buy them because they're still profitable if I've got nothing to run. But individually, these say you can get 6 million one for that one. I'll go run the 6 million one Music Thief. So then he'll go run those for a little bit. They've changed how the storyline missions work, so you now have 6 hours to complete these, where it used to be an hour or a couple of hours. So you know you've got the time to go do them, so you can do this and pick up several ones and start doing them. So I'll go do those in a moment. I'll earn the money from that. You get a bit of bounties from that. You'll get a bit of loot from that, but that's not, so that adds to it. What I'll then do is I will transfer the loot to this alt. Sorry, I confuse alt and clone. Alt is the main character who then has 3 clones. I've got 2 alts, 5 clones in total that do different things. This one is reprocessing only. As you'll see, I've got almost nothing in any of the types of ships, and I've entirely got it heavily weighted into industry. That's resource reprocessing. You see, I don't do anything else. So I am 554 in reprocessing, which allows me to buy stuff off the market. I've got a fair bit in trade, and I'm building up my accounting skills to make things cheaper. In fact, that's the next thing I've got to do. So I'm going to build up, and then he'll reprocess ores, and I will either send back. I don't think I've got any orders waiting. I've got a couple of blue loot that I'm investing in. He'll reprocess ores and ship debris and send them back to my main alt for industry if necessary, or just sell them on the market to make ISK. So that's, in a nutshell, how I'm making my ISK, how I'm going to make it for the Rattlesnake. I don't say this is how you do it. If you've got any suggestions for making better and quicker ISK, by all means, I'm open to them. So, I mean, those two work in conjunction, Wolfen 3. The other two I mine with, and I'm running the storyline missions. That's how I'm going to make the ISK. At the moment, I'm sitting at, I think, about 1 billion. I mean, I've got to keep on shelling things out. He has quite a lot invested in the market at the moment. The third clone I've got, sorry, is PvP only. Is running my fleet. PvP is heavily skilled into frigates. That's who you'll see my Dramiel primarily with. Is this clone. PvP can make you money. It's a bit difficult at the moment to go out and find solo PvP. If you can get, even if you're hitting miners, you can get decent loot, which you can sell and make money from. It's just not as consistent as running the high sec storyline missions. So that's what I'm going to do at the moment. My plan will be to give updates in respect of these and how I'm progressing. I'm not going to show you everything that I'm doing, but I'll do different videos showing parts of the process. I've tried to give an overview of the process here, so I hope that's helped in some part to understand how I make ISK in this game. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to do a separate video on Bad Hair Day, showing Bad Hair Day done with the Cinnabal and Phantasm. That should be shortly up after this video, and then in a day or so I'll have the Angel or Devil one up, and then I'll do, I think, an update every couple of days as to the progress towards a Rattlesnake, which I've shown is about 10 billion. So I'm about a tenth of the way, I reckon, to getting, well, yeah, getting it's a lot of ISK, but yeah, it's something I want, so that's how I was going to grind and do. Anyway, if you've made it this far through what has been a relatively rambly video, thank you very much. It's not as action-packed as some of the other videos. By all means, check them out. Subscribe, comments, likes, that's all great. Thank you very much.